You ever had the ground ripped out from under you, literally, while you were still trying to bury your father? Yeah, that happened. 6 in the morning, funeral cut short, heart running on fumes, and there I am, pulling up to my own ranch. What do I see? Strangers, real estate sharks with clipboards, stomping all over my land like they already own the place. A giant auction sign stuck right in my yard, shouting that my family's legacy was up for grabs. And there's Karen Whitfield, the queen of the HOA, speed dialing 911 to say I was trespassing on property that's been in my blood since the 60s. Maybe you think I'm joking. Maybe you think this kind of thing can happen. Well, let me tell you it can, and it did. I never signed up for their HOA. Never agreed to their rules. Not once did I give up an inch of Morrison land. But they figured, while I was away grieving, they could steal everything I had left. Bad timing. Wrong man. If you're wondering what you'd do, drop a comment, because what I did turned their pretend auction into the kind of reckoning that folks talk about for years. Name's Jake Morrison. Third-generation cattleman, Colorado-born and raised. 47 acres. My home, my sweat, my father's dream, my granddad's bones. Cedar fence, barn, gravel road, all built by hand. These days it's mostly me and my daughter, Emma, 16 years old, carrying on after cancer took Sarah, my wife. 30 head of cattle, enough work to last a lifetime, and then some. Everything went sideways 3 years back when developers slapped up a subdivision, Maplewood Heights, right next door. Within months, bam, an HOA forms. Karen Whitfield gets herself elected president. She's a transplant from Denver, brought big ideas about community standards. The kind of neighbor who measures your grass with a ruler, mails you a violation notice for a Christmas light you forgot in January. I tried to stay civil, but she came after me, fence first, said it encroached 18 inches onto their precious common area. Next, it was cattle smell complaints. Then suddenly my own gravel road was disturbing the entrance median. Every month, some new demand, some new threat. So last Tuesday, my world shifts. Call comes in, my father gone, heart attack in Montana. I leave right away, not planning to come back till it's settled. Emma's with her friend. My neighbor Bill's checking the cattle. I thought I could let go for a week. Thursday evening, though, I get a text from Emma. Just 7 words that froze my heart. Dad, you need to come home now. No details, just that gut punch urgency. I drove straight through the night, mind racing with worst-case scenarios. When I hit the gate at dawn, it wasn't the cattle that caught my eye. 2 guys in suits pacing my fence, fancy survey gear out. And that sign, public auction, this Saturday. Didn't matter that the grass was still wet with dew. They were measuring what didn't belong to them. I step out. No sleep, no patience, boots crunching on the same gravel my granddad poured 50 years ago. Excuse me, gentlemen. What exactly are you doing on my property? The tall one barely glances up. Pre-auction assessment, sir. Scheduled for public sale. I try to keep my anger in check. This is my land. You're trespassing. The short guy smirks. We have legal authorization. Don't interfere. I reach for my phone to call the sheriff, but before I can, the tall guy's already dialing. We have a situation here. Subject is being confrontational. Within minutes, that familiar white Mercedes whips up the driveway, dust trailing behind like a warning shot. Out steps Karen Whitfield, hair perfect, clipboard in hand, dressed like she's on her way to City Hall. Mr. Morrison, she smiles. You're in violation of a court order. These gentlemen have every right to be here. Court order? My jaw clenched. This is my property. I want them gone. Without missing a beat, she's on the phone with 911. Yes, I need police. We have a trespasser. Now, Deputy Maria Santos arrives. I know her. Emma's been to her daughter's birthday party. Maria steps out, confused as all get out. Karen launches into her act. Officer, he's interfering with a legal assessment. Full authority, Colorado statute. Maria asks for documentation. Karen's ready, hands over a stack of papers. Right on top, big bold letters, notice of property forfeiture signed by something called the Maplewood Heights Community Authority. Supposedly, I owe $47,000 in fines. Adverse possession, reverse abandonment, it's all gibberish. I show Maria my deed, my tax records. This ranch has been Morrison land 60 years. Maria frowns, flips through my papers, then through Karen's. According to county records, this is Mr. Morrison's property. Karen snaps, statutory authority. Abandonment clause. She keeps waving that survey. Brand new, supposedly showing my fence out of bounds. But my survey, the original from '67, says otherwise. Bill Hendricks, my neighbor, shows up just then. Old Ford, dust cloud, been surveying county land longer than I've been alive. That fence hasn't moved, he says. Not an inch. Crowd gathers, some neighbors filming, some whispering, some just staring. Karen wants me off her property. Maria, thank God, says it's a civil matter. No arrests, no removals, settle it in court. Karen fumes. Meanwhile, I realize their big, fancy auction sign is a good 2 feet onto my side of the fence. Karen, that sign's on my land. Move it. She threatens to have me arrested for vandalism if I so much as touch it. I try every lawyer I know. Voicemail, out of office, back Wednesday. The timing's perfect, too perfect. Karen's got her updated survey, her board meeting at 2 o'clock sharp, all lined up. I wasn't invited, of course. I showed up anyway. 5 people on the board. Only one looks like she has a soul. The rest? Karen's real estate cronies, her Dr. Buddy, her secretary. I lay out my deed, my survey, my records. Karen laughs it off. Old documents, new law applies. Her survey's signed by someone I've never heard of. I asked to contact him. She shuts it down. The board votes. 3-4, 1 against, 1 abstains. They want to proceed with the auction. Sunday, Karen hosts a pre-auction viewing, parades 3 potential buyers around my home. I sit on the porch with coffee, introduce myself as the owner. First buyer, a Denver developer, leaves immediately. The others get nervous. Karen's getting rattled, and so am I. But this is where the tides start to turn. Tommy Martinez, kid across the street with a camera and a YouTube channel, asks if he can film. I say yes, finally. His live stream hits nearly 1,000 viewers in an hour, comments flying in from all over. By Monday night, Channel 9 is calling. Karen refuses interviews. Dr. Stanton clams up. But the truth's out, and people are paying attention. Emma digs up the law. No auction in Colorado without a proper permit. 30 days in advance. Proof of ownership. None of which Karen or her board have. The county clerk confirms it. Now, Karen doubles down. Hires security, sets up barriers. The security guy looks at me, realizes something's off, says he'll check their contract. Neighbors are split. Nextdoor app blows up. Mrs. Patterson, quiet as a mouse before, tells her story. Karen tried to fine her $2,000 for planting roses. I get a property rights attorney, Sarah Chun. She's sharp, wastes no time, finds the original subdivision plat, sees clear as day. My ranch was excluded from the HOA. Karen tried to forge my consent on an extension, never approved, never legal. Sarah calls the surveyor whose name is on the updated survey. He's never worked for Karen, says his signature's forged. Now we're talking criminal. Sarah files an injunction, calls in the FBI. She uncovers emails. Karen planned to split the profits with Dr. Stanton, lied to the whole board. Thursday, my house turns into a command center. Evidence stacks up. Deed, surveys, emails, county approvals, expert witnesses. Community rallies. News vans show up. Security backs out. Karen's own board members start resigning or turning on her. Friday, the panic sets in. Karen tries to bribe the county clerk. The clerk records the conversation, calls the sheriff. Jennifer Walsh, Karen's secretary, leaks the whole email trail to the FBI. By Saturday morning, my land is swarming. Neighbors, news crews, sheriff deputies, FBI. Karen tries to start the auction anyway. Tears up the injunction on camera. Sheriff Martinez shuts it down. FBI arrests Karen, live in front of half the state. Crowd cheers, neighbors cry. I break that auction sign in half, plant the deed for everyone to see. Dr. Stanton apologizes. Jennifer confesses, turns whistleblower. By the end of it, Karen's facing years in federal prison. The HOA's gutted. New board apologizes, reforms the rules, makes sure this never happens again. In the weeks that follow, the whole state talks about property rights. My ranch becomes the symbol. Emma writes her senior project about the fight. Tommy's video hits 2 million views. Sarah Chun gets asked to speak at law schools. Neighbors, even the ones who doubted me, come by to help mend fences. Literally. You want a moral lesson? Here's what I learned the hard way. Never, ever assume someone in power is working for your good just because they say so. Always check the paper trail. Stand your ground, even when you're tired, even when it's ugly. This land? It's not just dirt and wood and barbed wire. It's my family's story, my past, my daughter's future, and a big chunk of what's right with America. No HOA, no forged survey, no clipboard-carrying fraud is ever going to change that. So now, every evening, I sit on this porch, watch the sun set behind the same fence line my grandfather built, and think about all the folks who stood up when it counted. I think about Emma. She'll inherit this place one day, knowing her dad didn't back down. And I think about everyone out there watching this, wondering if you do the same. So let me ask you straight. If someone tried to steal your legacy, would you fight or fold? Where's the line between authority and abuse, justice and power? Drop your story below. Tell me, has karma ever come for someone who tried to take what was yours? And if you're up against something like this, don't give up. Document everything. Find your allies. Stand your ground. Some things aren't for sale. Family, land, legacy, they're worth every fight. That's the story. That's how I got my ranch back. And that's why, sometimes when you refuse to move, the world moves with you.